YouTube. Cool. We're not there.
It's all working. It's beginnings. Are we live then?
I'm just checking that it's working. Recommended.
I've still got some more scraping to do.
Yeah, we love the scraping. That's the ASMR, isn't it? It's also sensory, something.
You don't know what it stands for then, is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, basically. I don't know what it stands for, but I know what it is, which is the sounds that cause good feeling in people.
Yeah, people are crazy for it.
So things like whispering and rubbing fingers down a balloon and all that. Yeah, it's just
Some people hate bullying.
yeah,
Is that good for some people?
yeah. Apparently.
I don't know.
Who knew?
That's crazy.
Amazing.
It's just actually, I haven't used this palette since last week. So I'm presently collecting the colours of Ben's cardigan. The one you thought was colourful, but was in fact almost entirely black.
He was so excited about how jazzy it was. Awesome.
That's cool. We might as well say, so this evening we have Philippa with us, which is great. It's actually Ben's other half. Which is really cool. Join us, and you've been, is it Bournemouth?
Yeah, I
I
know.
think it's where you live.
Yeah.
It's staying up with Ben at the moment. And
Yeah. I do spend a fair bit of time in Sherborne. I'll just come up for a week or so. It's brilliant.
Always been in Bournemouth?
No. I lived in London before I moved down to Dorset, and before that I lived in Guernsey, where I was born.
Ah, cool. Yes, you did mention Guernsey, didn't you? Yeah,
That's
so
an interesting thing.
It's a very interesting place. You ever been?
I haven't, no.
You should. Amazing.
Am I allowed? What's the rule?
I'll let you in. You know, like, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same reason I like coming to Sherborne, because it's so quiet. Bournemouth, obviously being a city, it's quite busy, it's quite loud, it's quite full of people.
There's quite a lot of tax avoidance in Sherborne as well, actually.
Yeah, that's probably why I like it.
It depends. Something like that is coming.
It's what the Channel Islands are famous for, particularly Guernsey, isn't it?
People's first questions, like, do you have electricity? Do you do tax avoidance? I'm like, yes and no.
Not necessarily in that order.
Keep it optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Your parents still out there?
Yeah, my dad lives in Guernsey, my mum lives in Albany, the slightly smaller town around in It's a really nice looking decent place.
Yeah.
It's a mile long by 3 miles wide, and I think there's about 1,000 people living on it, if I remember rightly. So it's a lot less.
That seems like quite a dense population for such a small area.
Which is why I think it must be less, because I'm sure it must be like 10 people or something. There's really not that many people around. Beautiful.
And so, what forced you to like come off the island?
A desire for something a bit different, because Guernsey is very small. So did you grow up in Sherborne?
No.
No? Did you grow up somewhere small?
Yes, that's smaller than the German.
Smaller.
Yeah.
So you probably get the feeling of like, kind of almost claustrophobia in a sense, because everyone knows everyone. This is what you were saying about the people just before. Everyone kind of knows you, everyone knows everything, all very in each other's pockets. So I just kind of want to go somewhere where I don't know anyone for a bit. And I moved to London, which was about as far away from Guernsey as I could get in terms of people, because you just never go and see the same person twice in London.
Yeah.
And I loved that. So London got a little bit loud, a little bit busy. I've been there for 4 years doing my degree, and I've been working as well in English Lit.
Cool.
So I've been working as well as doing my degree. And I was very tired. I felt like all my friends were on completely different points of London, and I spent my whole life on the tubes and buses. My commute was 3 hours. I thought, no, I can do something better than that. So I started having a look at places, and I thought Dorset sounds quite nice because it's close to home in terms of transport links and stuff, obviously physically, and I can get home quite easily. But it isn't. It sounds bad when I say it out loud. But I didn't want to go home, but I was, having an adventure. I wasn't ready to go back.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you left to go to university then?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Quite an easy jump.
It's interesting. Normally all eyes are looked on grey but become this background, which can be quite good. But actually, okay, you comfortable there? You feel like you've settled with the chair? Can you find a spot or somewhere just past me that you can rest your eyes on?
Yeah.
That you can remember?
Camera, is that good?
Well, or
Yeah,
yeah, just sort of over my shoulder kind of thing.
I can have a look at the camera.
No, a bit closer. Maybe just past my. Can you remember that?
Yeah, I'm looking at the little green thing over there.
Okay. Feel where your shoulders are and all that kind of thing. So settled.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was thinking when I started this of maybe doing small, but so we can get the whole thing including those fantastic shoes. You can just about see, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Shoes.
Yeah, it's a good display.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I can't get too ambitious with these because it's limited time and that's part of the idea.
Mm.
I'm going for some green underpainting. Green. What are we thinking?
Madman.
It's going to give voice to the pink and the picture eyes. So Philippa was saying that she wanted to have this done before the hair change colour.
Yes.
While it was still pink.
So what's the next hair colour going to be?
Thinking back to orange, just
Okay.
because it sounds like it would be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
As pink, you have to baby. You can't go in the sun, you can't really swim. The whole thing, you can't wash it too much, you've got to dye it quite a lot.
And how long has it been pink for?
2 years.
Oh wow.
So it took me a while to get bored of it actually.
Mm.
It's been 2 years and a month, I think. But it's so fun having pink hair. Little kids stare at you all the time. Oh my god, look at that. And I'm always like, dye your hair pink too, do it pink, do it pink. We'll see how many kids look at it first.
So like the dyeing of your hair, that's from our discussions earlier, that's something that you do quite a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, it's something I've always done. I have brown hair normally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bored of it. I'm not bored with my features at the moment. But yeah, I got bored of brown hair, so I tried to dye it blonde. It went horribly wrong and ended up orange. And I only managed to dye about half of it anyway because I was so young. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't think to use a mirror for the back of my head. I just thought, oh, that's enough. That'll do. This is fine. And then I was, oh my god, what do I do with this? I just dyed it orange to cover up, mask any sins. And then from there, it was just a love story. I loved orange hair. Had it red for a bit, and then, like I said, went pink, went purple, and blue a bit as well.
Cool. Amazing. And how long did each of the other colours last for?
I think the orange-red phase was probably about 10 years, and then pink's been the last 2.
Cool.
I think that's right. Yeah, maybe a little bit longer for the red orange.
And I mean, is that? Would you say that that's kind of like quite part of your personality? Does it accentuate it, or is it part of it?
I don't know. I think it must be part of me at this point because I don't know. Ben mentioned the other day, it's something about you can't dye your hair forever. Can't know. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll keep the pink again. Because every time I go to change the pink, I'm like, oh, but I love it. Maybe I'll just keep it a bit. And bleach isn't great for your hair, so I'm thinking I'd probably look after my hair a little bit. So yeah, probably a part of my personality at this point.
Mm-hmm. No, that's cool. Because I mean, like, the few times that I've met you, it's always been kind of quite flamboyant clothes. You are quite a flamboyant person anyway, so it sort of stands to reason that it's part of that journey, I guess, as well.
Ex-goth though, a little bit
Oh, really?
emo phase as well.
Now let's explore this.
Well, I had an emo phase as a teenager.
You did what, sorry?
I had an emo phase as a teenager.
Right, cool, yeah.
Really wanted to dye my hair black, but my parents wouldn't let me.
Yep.
So I was a mousy brown head. I felt very hardcore emo.
Yep.
No piercings, no tattoos, nothing. Just me and my studded belt and my pants. My skinny jeans fighting the good fight.
Excellent.
It was fun. It was fun. But,
I did quite like a quote that I heard the other day, which is you've got to be thankful for Halloween because the goths are holding the line for Christmas creeping forwards every year.
yeah,
And you
that's
just
so
think,
true.
actually, yeah, that's
So true. If it wasn't for Halloween, I think we'd have Christmas in summer, honestly.
yeah.
Scary thought.
So, what age were you at the goth days?
Are we 14, 15?
Mm-hmm.
I
So
wore a lot-
it's emo and then goth and
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wore a lot of black in my early 20s as well.
Right.
I like an all black everything kind of phase. Reminiscent of the emo phase.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I don't think when I started to go crazy colourful, but it happened at some point. It just burst out of me. And I haven't really stopped ever since.
been strapped underneath all that
Yeah,
black.
no, I have enough. I'm out. And yeah, I was getting colourful with it. It just brings me so much joy. It might have even been a mid-COVID thing. I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to go as colourful as I possibly can with life. It's good fun.
Yeah, that's cool. And so, was there a group of you at school that were similar kind of emo goth phases, or were you kind of the standalone?
Oh my god. Out of my friend
That's
group, there was
interesting.
me and another emo, but the rest was just sort of, I don't know, indie kids?
Yeah.
Whatever was going on at that time.
I thought people became goths so they could hang around with other people who didn't have any friends.
Yeah, you think so.
And inadvertently have loads of friends.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's precisely.
I'm not getting it wrong.
And so, was music sort of an influence in that period then?
Yeah, I'd say so. I listened to a lot of really bad emo bands, but they're so nostalgic to me. I still listen to them now.
Go on,
I'm trying
go
to think who. Massive fan of Fall Out Boy. Panic at the Disco was another massive one. I don't know if they're like strictly emo, but like My Chemical Romance.
I was just about to say, was it like
Um,
a romance phase?
Arcing Alexandria. Who else? Like Unit 6, that's a bit more punk,
Mhm.
pop funk, but you know, that sort of general. Because what year would this have been? I don't know too much. Maybe 2000s.
Yeah, that's fair.
So whatever was going on at that point, yeah, it was good.
And did sort of music change when you went into the goth phase as well then?
I don't know if my goth phase was as pronounced as and separate to my emo phase. I feel like it was all just one.
Oh, okay, yeah, just sort of blended.
So I wear a
And,
lot of black and be really miserable and sulky in there for a while.
Differences.
Yeah, I don't feel like I distinguish the two. I know they're very separate. Don't come for me, internet people.
Yeah.
Don't come for me.
yeah, they are all gunning for you now.
Run out the window.
They're not. Yeah. Fine.
You're going to be worshipping crosses or something.
Yeah.
No, well, if they're on Twitch, they're watching someone play computer games, guarantee.
So you mentioned it.
Yeah.
And what made you choose that?
I love reading. Always loved reading, and I love thinking. So it felt like a very good combination of two things. Think about reading, read about thinking, think about reading, and all different things. And it was so much fun. If I could go back and do it all again, I would in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
Like, I just get to sit around and read books all day, and then talk about them through various theoretical frameworks. What could be more fun than this?
Cool.
Don't know how much of it I've changed, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and that's what counts.
Probably more than you think because you enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I did an essay on American Psycho. You mentioned that earlier. That was quite interesting. I shared that with Ben. We had a conversation around. I don't know. I think we either started talking about masculinity or American Psycho, and I saw my inroads because I just recently read the essay again myself. So, bust out something I used to know.
Yeah. That's it.
I think books like that are most effective because they. American Psycho was a brave one because there would have been various sort of characters in literature, film, stuff like that, which are kind of protagonists, really. You know, if you think of the Hannibal Lecter thing, you know, they make you like him first. They make you admire his taste and his intelligence, his insight, all this kind of thing, and then they reveal the sort of the horror afterwards. And the American Psycho character didn't really have that. There was something else going on, which was this sort of, well, the desire to fit in.
It took over. That's how I explored masculinity through it. You used masculinity as a way to fit in with his peers and kind of hide the monstrous underlayer that really wasn't much of an underlayer. Coming out in such monstrous ways. I've never had a book elicit such visceral reactions in me. Like I had to put it down and just, whoa,
Yeah.
no.
Because they just couldn't, they couldn't make the book into a film, really. They made a film, the film was good, but
It's not.
it's not
So, no.
nor could it be, really.
2 scenes in it, just nope, I can't read this. And it took me a while before I could pick it back up. And I read a lot of horror. Like it was, unsettling. Not a fan. Have you read it?
No, I haven't.
No. Oh, I would recommend it.
Sounds
Just
like
watch
it's on the
that.
cards then, yeah.
Yeah, you should. It's really good. It's really good. It is quite a lot different film.
I've not seen the film either, so yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've seen Free Willy too, but yeah, not American Psycho.
At least you've got to watch that.
Yeah.
You really want to see. So you want to call me too.
Do you better? What do you think?
No, neither of them were good. So yeah, but it was that's a comment from Radio 1 DJ who sort of, he didn't see any of the kind of like big amazing films that were ever out at the time, but he'd always see the kind of Hallmark really shit,
Yeah.
awful kind of bad films, and would just be like, oh no, I haven't seen that, but I've seen this, and I just thought that was really funny.
That was what I was known for at my job before last, because I haven't seen a lot of big pop culture things. Like I've never seen Star Wars, for example, and at this point I don't think I ever will, because I get way more fun out of telling people that at my age I haven't seen Star Wars. Because if they're really into it, they're so shocked. They can't understand, they can't fathom that I wouldn't have seen it.
Best thing as well that you can do,
Crazy.
because people that will ask you, have you seen Star Wars? Like Star Wars geeks, so make sure you turn around and just go, oh, is that the Enterprise?
You mean Star Trek? Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the one you actually meant.
Yeah, exactly.
Awkward. Get it right, guys.
Yeah.
But I think I'm never going to watch it at this point because I don't think I'd get as much fun out of the actual films.
Yeah.
I've seen them anyway.
But also,
Don't
where
really-
do you start? There's so many of them.
There's one,
Well,
but then there's
numbers,
prequels
that
and
helps.
stuff. I've
Yeah, but
watched.
do you watch them number order, or do you watch them the way that they're released?
I guess
Or
you're
do you-
meant to.
Because actually, there's
Or
stuff,
maybe you could do either.
but there's stuff now which has been
Or-
released that is
You've not watched them at all.
all
So
that. Yeah. But there's stuff which is like prequels to before everything, and you kind of should watch those. And then there are some that are cartoons as well that
I
are
don't
involved.
know where I would start, to be honest. That's another whole thing I can just avoid, because I feel like I should watch them in the order they were released to have the same experience as everyone else. But also, if I have the opportunity to watch them in the running order, I should do that so it makes more sense. I'm just not going to watch
I
them.
think it makes a lot of difference. It's
Probably not.
kind of the same thing with Indiana Jones. George Lucas was very good at the whole Saturday matinee, going to the pictures in the 50s sort of experience. And that's what Indiana Jones was. It was just, it was a boy's own adventure Saturday matinee. Like, it might have been that, or it might have been the Lone Ranger or something. And Star Wars was sort of much of the same thing. And then they sort of got carried away with this whole, like it was meant to have some kind of, people treat it like it has some kind of revelation in it, or there's some kind of deep wisdom in there or something. It's like trying to tell us something important. It just isn't. The script should be a pretty good clue as to why it's not trying to tell us anything. It's awful, but that's not the point. It was fun, and it was fun because for people who were 7 when it came out in the cinema, and it had these sort of groundbreaking special effects, and it was exciting. And then I think if you've missed it as a child, you've missed it. You can say to someone who was 60, oh, you must see E.T., it's really good. Because it's not really good if you're not a child. You can't empathise with the children in the film. If you've seen it as a child, you can kind of go back there when you watch it again. Maybe I think that's what it is with the Star Wars things. People are not willing to let go of that, the last moment of joy they ever had in their lives. It's reasonable when you think about it.
This would explain why I showed my ex-boyfriend The Lion King and he just did not appreciate it. And I was like, oh my god, you've got to watch it. It's an absolute classic. Like, I'm raving about it. It's not the best film in the world, but I feel like I had that childhood connection to it, having watched it a million times as a kid. And he was just like, yeah, okay, it's a film, whatever. And I was like, what? It's amazing.
It's
But
Hamlet, is what it is.
Hmm?
It's Hamlet.
Yeah.
But without all the good words.
Very true.
Suppose English lit studying.
Yeah.
Where did you go from there?
Well, I'd moved out of London at this point. I'd moved down to Dorset.
Mhm.
Didn't have a job, didn't know anyone, didn't have much. But
So where did you initially move in Dorset then?
To Poole.
Okay.
To Poole. And I worked my way over to Parkstone a couple of years later and I moved to Bournemouth last year. Spent a lot of time in Parkstone. It's really nice.
Mhm.
So I started down here. I was looking for any kind of work. No one would hire me because I've got a degree and a lot of retail experience, and that's a dangerous combination because they know I'm just going to leave as soon as I can find a job for my degree. I was like, oh, I'll be a teacher. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be a copywriter. I've always loved reading and writing. So I tried to break into the copywriting biz, as it were. Managed successfully. I got a job as a copywriter person. Just in case I didn't like copywriting, and also because it was a startup and you need someone who could do everything.
Yeah.
I became that person who did everything. I did that for about 6 years. I didn't stay as copywriter, customer service person. I did probably 1,000 different jobs for that company because it was a startup that grew rapidly, like 600, 800% on year. It was dizzying, mental madness. COVID, we went from, in like the first year of COVID, we went from having about 10 people to like 60. And we just kept doubling that year on year, so it just, ballooned out or something. Next thing you know, I have a whole department that I'm looking after. Oh, when did that get there? That's crazy, And then eventually left there. I moved to an energy consultancy firm where I learned lots of very interesting things that are probably very useful.
Probably. So you still haven't found out what they are useful for you.
Really? I mean, the thing I like to tell people about is I wrote a guide about nuclear fission and understanding that. And I feel like I did have a really good grasp on it for the afternoon in which I was writing the booklet. And then as soon as I left it, I was like, particles, something, splitting.
So what caused you to move from the first job?
I don't even
I
know.
was getting into the nuclear fission bit then.
We'll come back to that.
That's my favourite subject.
Tune in for my master class at 9. Nuclear fission.
Yeah.
I got made redundant, sadly.
Really?
Yeah, it was a shame.
That's amazing, considering you were saying that the company was growing and growing and growing. So then you turn around and just go, yeah, actually, we're going to make it.
No, it wasn't just me, though, unfortunately. I think it was a change in business priorities, perhaps.
That's good though.
Literature. Yeah.
I mean, you mean it wasn't just you that got made redundant?
Yeah, no, it wasn't just me.
If I was going to be made redundant, I'd want loads of other people to be made
I know, right? Take them all down with you. Exactly.
Well, more that you don't want the idea that you've been singled out.
Yeah, you don't
No,
like
it's just this one. It's the only one we don't need.
I'm like you.
Everyone else is
Yeah.
fine.
No, we had like 150 staff, and I feel like they got rid of like 30, 40 people within a few months. Like a team got cut out, kind of thing, like a team of 30
Yeah.
at once. So it wasn't just.
And at the time, did that, was that a bit under your skin? Did that annoy you that it was your department?
I wasn't running the department at the time. It got taken away, thankfully. I was marketing coordinator at this point, so I was the glue holding everything together, supposedly. But then I wasn't. Don't know how they're faring now.
Hopefully pretty bad.
Do you look back to them at all as a company and just kind of just check on how they're doing or see where they are or
What petty revenge?
yeah,
Yeah,
still get any of the login details.
no, thankfully they were rapid. They were rapid. Not all companies have been so rapid, I'll say that much. But yeah, that's one of the first things you do when you do let someone go. Make sure you take them off all your socials and anywhere else you might have access. But yeah, they're very active on LinkedIn, so I often see what's going on
Okay.
public facing anyway. And I've got a lot of friends at the company still, so I know the whole picture.
Excellent.
It's all good.
Should we park that one there?
You know what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I'm sure James would like me to push and prod further, but
I definitely want to know more.
Yeah.
It's the first time this conversation's got interesting. Come on, spill the beans. Are they going under? No one watches this. You're fine.
They're not going under, I don't think. It's not very well
Are they going
organised.
to court? No, surely someone's done something awful. Do you know anything about someone? And you haven't got around to blackmailing them because that's the sort of person you are. But they thought you might, that's why you got made redundant. So I always think that's possible. Usually someone's scared.
On a live video, so I'll say no comment.
Hey, that means yes.
Yeah.
Probably. If I think about it, probably. But that's not really my bag.
Financial or conduct based? Just 20 questioning.
Yeah.
My way.
I didn't know anything about that, Judge. Sorry.
I like that whole, they're doing the whole thing with the hands. I have another friend that does this quite right. I have no idea where it's come from.
I don't know either.
But it's quite amusing when everybody does it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a man as well. I pictured a woman. I don't know why. Probably because I'm a woman. I'm not doing it, but that's cute.
Yeah.
You just say things and you're like, well, okay. Why?
And so, nuclear fission.
Yes.
Yeah, James wants to get into that.
It's the process of splitting the nuclei of an atom, pretty sure. Fairly sure.
It's exactly right.
So how did you get involved with that one?
Well, I was working for an energy consultancy, so they did a lot of B2B work, a lot of business-to-business stuff, trying to help businesses get better energy deals, basically, because they were a genuine, nice sort of middleman, if you will. The energy industry's got a terrible reputation for people selling contracts that are ridiculously expensive, all this kind of thing.
What do you mean, like for putting energy bills up?
Yeah,
Quite willing to take
like
that.
call centres and stuff.
Yeah.
And get I can do you a better deal. I do business energy. I can sell it to you for like 20p a kilowatt or whatever it was that we would sell it for. I clearly paid a lot of attention. But you got to buy it now. But we could get them like 6p a kilowatt thing. So a lot of pressure tactics and stuff. Whereas that company, very chill approach. Just we've got relationships with all these energy suppliers, and we'll help you get your business energy bills down. And then as part of that work, a lot of what I did was creating helpful informational booklets and such. How it all works. I don't know why we did the guideline nuclear fission? The Hinkley Point C, that was why. Because that's supposed to be a massive energy generator going online. Let's see a year, but it's going to be wrong. I was going to say 26, then I was like maybe 30. I don't know. It'll be coming online at some point. But it's one of those massive projects that involves a lot of time and money and people and planning. And I think it's sort of like sideways.
What I didn't realise is you can actually have tours of the building site. Which is just mental. Because, I mean...
What is there to see though? Is it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
a lot.
Else is.
All the fun stuff's happening in one place. You can't get to you couldn't go there and plan your sabotage or something.
No.
If you were so minded.
Yeah, a couple of times, figure out the exits. That is interesting though. Do you
to
pay
show
for
you
it
what
or?
to keep the fuel.
No,
so-
that's the thing. You don't have to pay for the tour because it's such a big thing which is going on within Bridgewater. Their whole point was like, well, actually, just come and see what's going on.
That's a lot nicer. I was thinking try and get some of your bloated budget back, but no, do a nice thing.
That doesn't make you suspicious though. I can't have a look around, everything's fine. It's fine though. Have a look around, I promise it's fine.
I've watched a couple of like documentaries on sort of Hinkley Point throughout its, you could see it throughout sort of its journey that's on at the moment, and actually it's mind-boggling the amount of infrastructure that is in that whole kind of system. The world's biggest crane working there for the last like 2 years, which you can see from miles and miles and miles away because it's that big. And the amount of concrete which is going into support. That's boring. Sorry, this sort of stuff kind of excites me, but because it's such a massive scale project. It's not just like building a shed. It's like phenomenal. They've built villages and towns to house the workers that are working with.
My mind does boggle a little bit at the planning side of things
Yeah.
and the logistics. Like you must need so many materials, and you've got to get them all to specific places at specific times.
biggest part that I thought was unbelievably cool, and also quite ridiculous, is that every 10 centimeters of weld that is on the reaction chamber, because it's all steel plate which is put together, so every 10 centimeters of weld gets x-rayed to make sure that there are no imperfections in it. So they're only allowed to do a 10 centimeter section at a time. That 10 centimeter section gets x-rayed, which takes overnight for it to do all the development of it. So they can only do 10 centimeter sections at any one time. Which is
going to take them how many years to do the whole thing?
It's absolutely
Why
bonkers.
can they only do 10?
Because they're as big as the camera is, that they can fit onto this sort of steel that will then be enough to penetrate through to the other side of the steel to make sure that they've got the weld. Anyway, again, boring. You, right. After, sorry.
It's boring.
Well,
It's boring at all. Follow the conversation we go. Don't stick with small talk. No one wants to listen to that. It's a way in, isn't it?
yeah, I guess so.
What other cool facts you know about him before it's
Yeah, I'm spent now.
Oh no, just think your words.
That was it.
That was your party trick done.
Done. Yeah.
Cool.
I know there was they used the same size tunnel boring machine that did the channel tunnel
You were going to say channel tunnel. What? Why? For what
for
part of it?
cooling.
Ah.
So they went under to the ocean to drain into it to then give it enough coolant, because they were using the sea, hence why it's next to the sea.
I need to
Because
name this documentary because I'm fascinated.
it's it was on BBC. I can't remember, something like Building Hinkley Point Sea. I think that's as boring as it was, but as it was called. But yeah, honestly, and throughout COVID as well, with that amount of workers on site, they then had real problems with trying to coordinate people because they couldn't meet and couldn't touch and couldn't work next to each other.
You could be a giant bubble, could they?
Yeah, that's what it was towards the end when we were allowed to be in those bubble situations.
Not in the
But
beginning though. We thought the logistical planning was bad before COVID. I didn't think about the COVID side of things. So
Yeah.
it's been awful.
But yeah, they go out into the sea there for a mile and a half, something along those lines.
Channel tunnel is massive. I want to go watch this now. I was going to watch this when I got home. Gosh.
Yeah.
There's so much to do.
Yes, that's very egotistical. I'm going to go watch what
And
I
it's
just had
straight
done.
away on loop for the next like 2 days.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What were you expecting out of this evening? It's quite interesting.
I don't know.
That's good.
Nothing mad, nothing much really. A little chat, a little bit of painting. That's it really. Hopefully I was hoping to get to see Cat and I have, so I'm happy. It's not on my lap though. That would be the next best thing.
That would be a miracle.
Yeah, I was going to say it's 6 months. I think I've been here, isn't it, James? That we worked together, and yeah, it's not.
Not really shown any interest in you at all.
Well, he likes to. Whenever I wear black trousers, he always likes to make sure that his white fur is across the sort of entire bottom foot.
But that's his job. That's nothing to do with you. It's not a personal thing. So, oh, there's a new black thing that needs covering in white fur. I better get to work. And that's all that in his tiny head.
They're so cute. I have one, but he lives with my mum. He's not really that cat either. He's very much does his own thing. He's not a cat. I just want so badly to pick him up and cuddle him, but he won't let me. He's known my auntie he's lived with my auntie and my mum for 12 years, and I would say it's only in the past year that he started sitting on my auntie's lap. So real slow burn. She got there. Cats don't people love you or they don't.
You can trick them into it. I mean, a lot of the time people think cat sitting in your lap is affection, and it's not really. They're just too lazy to be endothermic. So if there's free heat going, they'll have it.
Well, see, that's why I like them sitting on my lap, because I'm always cold and they warm me up.
Yeah, yeah.
They just get my warmth.
Literally what's happening. Yeah. It's not an act of affection, it's entirely self-interest. Which I still admire. That's that.
I love cats. They're so wonderful. They're great.
So I'm much more of a cat person than a dog person.
I feel like I used to be a dog person, but the older I'm getting, the more I'm like,
It's a crazy cat.
Good, yeah, crazy cat lady. It's happening. It's happening. That's been floated my way since I was like 15. So yeah, it's in the cards.
Oh, I'm warming up into this today.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like the fact that the background colour is the same as your cat. It's just nice. Again.
There's a bit of medium in this.
Nobody say hello, but it's really disappointing.
Mother, are you there? Say hello.
A few people on there.
Oh,
They're just deciding not to say hello.
everybody's shy.
Disappointing. Yeah.
They all talk about nuclear fission. They were like, no.
That's it. We had 20 up until that.
We're just about to go viral, actually. Oh.
So where are you now then? In work-wise, what are you doing?
Occasionally, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Good question. I've just
Spiritually?
could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just launched a freelance marketing business.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so after nearly 8 years in it, I've just thought I'm just going to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it myself.
Why did you decide to do that?
To get made redundant, thought, no. That happened twice. But I've been wanting to change for ages. I'm really not a 9-to-5 office-y kind of person, and I accidentally took a 9-to-5 office job for a year, and I was like, why have I done this? I hate this.
And what an accident.
Oh no, real bad accident. I need to set up a business. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this, and I just never got around to it. As you know, you get into the routines, you get comfortable, whatever. And I got made redundant, and I was like, well, if not now, when?
Good shout.
So
Yeah.
just do it. It's been going all right. I've been building my website today. It's been quite fun. Who am I? What do I do? How can I help you? All that kind of soul searching stuff. But it's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been good fun. It's coming on, and I'd say it's almost ready. Get it live. Get a domain. All that fun stuff.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
And any clients already on the books that you know you're going to be working with, or?
Chatting to Paul. Yeah, I'll chat with Paul. And maybe Claire, but that's about it really.
Cool.
Yeah. I haven't really started marketing myself too much yet. So I need to do that. It's scary marketing yourself, but get used to it.
Why is it scary?
Well, I don't know, it's easier to slip into a brand voice, I suppose, rather than, oh, look at me and my business. That's how I feel about it anyway. I actually think this. I think it is actually fine, but it's also that, like, just putting yourself out there in a new way is always a bit,
So is your new business, is it you,
Yeah.
or have you created a brand separate to you?
Well, I'm kind of the brand.
Okay.
It's just Philippa Holiday marketing.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be PH marketing because obviously initials, and that was Ben's suggestion. But I really couldn't think of a name. And all the good names I thought of were taken, trademarked. And he suggested PH marketing. And I said, but won't people just think that's about science related stuff? That was my fear. pH balance. But then it is.
Oh, but you could surely, as a marketer, you'd be straight onto that.
I was just thinking that the world is your oyster after that.
Well,
surely.
this is the thing. I'm not really a sciencey person, so that motif doesn't really.
Well, pH
Do
is
it
just
for me.
the scale of acidity or alkalinity, if you want to look it like that. Usually with a litmus test. And the litmus test turns different colours. So you've got some colours straight off. You've got the whole litmus idea.
You're selling it to me.
The idea that you're testing stuff, but if you're doing A/B testing,
Yeah.
You could also go down the sort of pH balance route, which means that you are sort of stable and ready within a.
it's all too easy, isn't it?
Wow, you guys left a week ago when I was.
Ben would say that was the problem.
I know. He should have told it like that, and I'd have been straight on board. I don't know, but I think the fun of it being mine is that I can just do whatever I want. If I decide, I'm going to go for a bit more of a motify thing, if I decide that like just branding it as kind of me isn't really working, I don't necessarily want to be the brand, but I also am. So I don't know. Figuring it out.
So I mean, based on that, then is what you created sort of quite vibrant.
Ish. to a point. The website's got purple, it's got a bit teal, but I've picked up a very nice warm peach as my neutral colour. I don't want a white plain website. I want something that feels really warm and really friendly. So I like to think that's the vibe I give off to people. So I wanted to reflect that, and also the crazy colours that I love so much.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. Like, is it going to be like full on crazy because you love crazy colours?
Well, this is the thing. I was gonna, because it's my business. I can have fun with it, right? But also, I do need to appeal to people that aren't me. So I've got to try and transform my mindset into something that will resonate with anyone that I'm working with. Like, I'm going to use Ben's business as my portfolio, and I would like a website that I can send to people in the construction industry that isn't. I was going to just make it all hot pink, and I was like, I can't do that. I can't send that to like a 50-year-old bloke called Dave and be like, yeah, I'll make some really good content. And I'll be like, oh, you know, so I'm trying to.
65-year-old bricklayer that's just been.
So I've tried to make me palatable to the masses without losing me in it, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's interesting.
Slightly
Yeah.
palatable to the masses. 'Cause
There's a part there's a part I'm slightly disappointed in that,
yeah,
but I get it.
me too.
Yeah.
I feel like
Maybe you need like a couple of years of doing your own stuff, and then all of a sudden actually rebrand because, hello.
I was literally just about to say, like, if I can build it up and get the client base that I want, then I have a little bit more wiggle room to do what I want, because it won't be, I can start to choose who I work with a little bit more selectively. Like, I'd love to work with people in, like, the spirituality industry, wellness, health, travel, all that sort of thing. But at the moment, I'm literally, like, open doors. Like,
Yeah.
I'll work with anyone, I don't mind. I just want to get my business running, and that's great from there.
Who do you want to work with?
Spirituality people, wellness people, like anyone that travels, travel bloggers, that'd be really fun. I'm targeting small businesses to start with. Probably should have started there rather than industry, but I'm targeting small businesses to start with, just because I like working with them more. I worked at that the startup where I did 1,000 jobs in 6 years, and I worked with them from literally, we've been open for like 2 minutes. We've got nothing going on. We've like nothing's. We're all just winging it completely, to quite a structured company that had been through 2-3 investment rounds. We were working with investors, and I was producing pitch decks and, talking quite high level corporate stuff. And I like the small businesses. They're just real people. And I just want to connect with people. But the point I was trying to make is that I know if they want to grow, I know how to get them there, but I don't want to work with them all the time. If you ever need to do marketing. And I think you got the right guy this time.
I think you got the right guy. Yeah, I think that's a story that does actually need to be told.
I think I got the tall man outside that I thought was Graham, and it wasn't. He didn't smile. He's got fun too.
For me, no, in fact, I did kind of like weird half a bit of the weekend, but anyway, if that were me and somebody just sort of finger gunned me in the street, you just do it back. Yeah, I mean, what harm is it?
I know. Heartless man.
Yeah.
I'll say it was dark and maybe he couldn't see.
It's possible you just didn't even understand what was happening.
That is also true.
Jyoti's piped up. Hi all, looks good. Going to watch later. Hey Jyoti. She's lovely. She every week, and she occasionally comes into the shop, says hello. And it was kind of weird the other day because Jordan, the comedian that we had on a couple of weeks ago, was standing next to his portrait, waiting in the queue, and she was standing there looking at the portrait, and then he turned around. And she was like,
Ah!
"Oh!"
Me and Ben shared one on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, maybe Friday. And we'd been all around the town. We came into the coffee shop, went to see Paul, blah 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 blah. And then we got to the end, and he was like, I didn't even go see my picture. What am I doing? And we had to go all the way back down the street to the coffee shop. And he was like, And he really wanted to stand by it for ages and see if anyone noticed.
Brilliant.
But it's amazing. It's amazing.
So, yeah, my kind of weird story over the weekend. I was sitting. Was it on Friday morning? Yeah, it's minor hangover on Friday morning, just a small one.
Oh, smidge. Yeah, smidge.
And I was sitting there, I was drinking a cup of tea. Phone went off, and it was a number that wasn't in my phone, and my phone number's all across like my emails and whatnot. So it kind of I'll answer it. So yeah, did, and we like sort of picks up hello, and then these group of girls were singing.
Oh.
Call Me Maybe by is it Carly Rae Jepsen?
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah. Just did an entire like verse and into the chorus of that. Whilst they were kind of giggling, and it was just a bit mental, shouty, screamy. I was just on the phone, kind of.
When I opened.
Yeah.
Why?
What is going on right now? I was laughing. It was pretty cool. And they stopped, and I was just like, "That's possibly the most awesome thing that's ever happened." And they were like, "We're going on Britain's Got Talent." And I was like, "I'll vote for you. Amazing, thank you."
Is that their marketing strategy? Just ring people up blue and then vote for us, because that's amazing.
It's just so bizarre.
It was the thing when I was a teenager, like you ring people and just moo, hang up the phone, whatever. I don't know if that's still.
Well, it's the number neighbour.
Yeah.
Which is the one number above and below who you are your immediate number neighbours. So maybe they just did that.
Maybe. Was it similar to yours?
I didn't check at the time. So.
No, that's so funny though.
Yeah, just and also in that slightly hazy state, just wasn't expecting it. It's completely out of the blue. And, what?
Well, like, hello, is your coffee shop open? Or hello, how are you, friends? Not. Call me maybe. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I love it though.
Oh,
It's very weird.
great. It was really good. They put a massive smile on my face. And I was like, yeah. And you just got to go with it. So,
Yeah.
finger guns guy outside. Yeah.
Not
Boring.
like
Yeah.
they would like.
Yeah.
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 No, not for me.
Got about 10 minutes until 8 o'clock. It's just it.
Okay. Well,
How are we going, actually?
well, she's appeared. It's an interesting thing, this sort of the live stream time restriction. Means that I'm sort of doing what I'm finding is I'm at the first visit. I'm just trying to find the person, almost like a sketch, until I sort of get a likeness, and then I'll work into that afterwards. And this is sort of interesting because the things to take into account is the hair is so dominant. The head shape becomes far more important than it normally would be. Usually something I think about near the end. I haven't got all my colours mixed. I haven't got everything set up just right. That's all ready to paint it. But just for a few colours, I could kind of place a few things around. And also you're moving your head a lot, which is not a complaint. It's having an animated conversation. So that's quite a nice time to be just playing around and not trying to make it too exact. So yeah. So we've got another mouth open picture. But I think they're probably more recognisable talking.
I'm never not talking.
I mean, how did both you and Ben get a word in edgeways?
I don't even know. We do have long periods of contented silence, which I think helps. But then if we both get a bit animated, it's like.
I quite like that phrase, contented silence.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It was birthday today, like we just curled up on the sofa, like I was reading or something, he was playing games. We didn't talk for like 2 hours, but it was nice. Just doing our things, but together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that.
Mm.
Yeah, so you can see it on the screen, can't you?
Yeah, so I don't know where to look. I don't know to pay attention.
It's all right.
I didn't know whether I was actually like sat in the way of it or not.
A
But
little bit, I can see on the right there.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot further than that. That one's frozen.
Oh. I mean, that would explain why I can't see him moving.
Yeah, there's a little bit of colour on there now. Rather than just. I always find it fascinating. Yeah, the first half is always kind of outline. You get the gist of it. Generally, you see who the person is within about the first 3 minutes, but then you really have an outline and a kind of interesting part after the first hour, and then when the colour comes in, it's like personality comes through, which is super interesting for me. Anyway,
No, I got the
It
same.
took a bit longer today, so are we an hour in then?
we've got 9 minutes, but you were like finding about with him.
I'm always, it's the whole thing is just me mucking about.
Yeah, but you were cleaning your palette for quite some time.
Yeah, but
literally,
that's
so-
still working. I'm still thinking that that's happening. It's not.
The behind the scenes, the art.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a certain amount of dithering. And, yeah, cleaning the palette is dithering happening while I'm here. The other dithering involves me leaving the room, which is less interesting, I suppose.
So you mentioned earlier that your mum lives in Guernsey? No, your mum lives in the tiny island. And your dad lives in Guernsey. Cool. Do you have a preference as to, not which parent, obviously, but which islands? That's an awkward question. Which parent is your favourite?
Choose, but it depends. I go to Albany if I want to relax, because there's not a lot going on there, but in a really nice way. Like, it's just serene, it's beautiful, it's quiet, it's peaceful. Like, there's no pollution or noise or anything really. I swear there's like 10 cars on the island. Like, it's just very, very quiet, very beautiful as well, because it's just an open sort of island, so you can see quite far. In all directions. You can see France from Albany, actually. The whole set of Channel Islands is close to France. You've got kind of the curve of France, and then sort of there. And I'm like, why aren't you French? I don't know. I feel like I should be occasionally. But then Guernsey's got like the rest of my family and all my friends. My auntie obviously lives with my mum. Then I've got all my other friends and family on Guernsey, and there's more to do slightly. Not much, but a little bit more. Apparently more to do than when I lived there, though. The cultural scene has come on quite well.
Always seems to be the case, isn't it? You leave and then everything happens.
Place gets great, and you're like, what a stage. But yeah, no, it's been good. They do, music festivals and that sort of thing now.
And did you have to, I mean, you don't know your backstory, did you have to like go between the two islands when you were growing up or anything?
No. My mum lived on Guernsey until my first year of uni, and that's when she decided to move. So I do now, but I didn't have to there now.
Have you met a mandolin player called James Dumbledon? I think he's living there. I might have the wrong channel line.
People often don't get asked.
Probably musician.
And a relatively large family?
Not massive, but thinking about my Christmas shopping for the year, that's why I'm like, big enough, we're fine, there's enough of us.
Are you going to be in the UK for Christmas, or are you going to go over?
I'm going back in a few weeks. I can't even think what day it is, but a few weeks, probably 16th.
Cool.
Yeah.
Back for like sort of until the end of the year, and nice.
And I'll come back for New Year's. I always do New Year's here. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We really enjoyed getting dressed up for Claire, so we thought we might like to do that again.
Cool.
And go somewhere fancy pants.
Yeah, because you did the amazing sort of change halfway through.
Midway costume change,
Yeah,
how dramatic.
that's just they're mental. Never know something. And then at the end of the night as well, swapping shoes with Ben was
That was
just like
so...
all of us were just.
I cannot tell you how funny it was watching him. He ran at one point in these just to prove that he could do it, and just the way his trousers were bunching up over them, and just see the little silver shoes peeping out. So funny.
But it completely floored the majority of us that were up in Drinksmith when you changed shoes. None of us kind of knew what to do, where to look. But
Well, that's me and Ben, mate.
What?
We share wardrobes. It's so handy. I've got loads of amazing shirts. He's got loads of amazing shirts. So, like, to be really
combined, yeah, you got an amazing already.
This is his necklace.
Cool.
It's just, I like that. I will borrow that. It's really handy. Yeah. I am impressed that he walked home in these, but he did complain a lot. Feet feet were mashed by them. I was like, they're not comfortable. Why do you need camping?
It's a fashion baby.
Oh, it is fashion, baby. Yeah, I wore these to work once. And I was like, what a waste of a painful shoe. Just sitting at an office.
Mm. But you had fun on Thursday?
Yes, it's good. Very good. A massive domination when we got home. Watched Mr. Bean for like 2 hours and I went to sleep. It's amazing. We found the Mr. Bean channel on his TV, like the actual TV. We found there was a whole Mr. Bean channel. And we were like, why? We need to know why this exists. So we just got into it.
It's
And
pretty good.
it's amazing, yeah. It
Yeah.
was just what the
People
brain
should
needed.
liken it to like Benny Hill or something. Like this is sort of lowbrow entertainment.
Oh,
It's
sweet.
brilliant comedy,
Yeah,
and also it's about a really unpleasant man.
Mm.
And so it sort of makes it easier. It's more fun to laugh at everything going wrong for someone who's entirely selfish and unpleasant, like Mr. Bean. It's it's like the principle of if you want to make something violent, you have to have a sort of a victim that elicits no sympathy. So zombies, people who are already dead. It's not like Roman Nazis. Zombie Nazis, the pinnacle. You can do anything you want to a zombie Nazi and no one's thinking about what's he doing. And so the Mr. Bean character is someone to laugh at.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you just go, well, maybe he's a bit on the spectrum, poor man, and why isn't anyone helping him? But because he's such a horrible, selfish person, and he causes all his own problems.
Yeah.
You
He
can
really
laugh at
doesn't
him.
help himself. He really doesn't. It was just what I needed to just
Great time.
Cool. Right, yeah.
There I am.
Spent 15 minutes. It's good. Back again.
Everyone.
I'm going to do a bit of more palette preparation. I'm going to get the flake white out. So I want a bit of texture in this. Good for texture. Especially because it's the reused canvas, and it won't show up in normal light, but there is this sort of mark here, which is showing up slightly in the canvas. Right. That's going to be, I think it's more texture paint over the top of it. Yeah, you can still get lead white. But, it's expensive now.
Or to use too much other than that. I just don't eat it.
Don't need to always remember once and twice, don't need good paint.
Wait, that's not recommended? Sure.
Yeah, put that down over there.
So yeah, so I've only used a few colours so far. I've got my I've been using alizarin, the sort of a crispness to the whole thing. Not too much, not too much cadmium in this image. I'm not sure that's going to even get a look in, but it might for some of the pinks. I've got this green in the background, so I've got this Prussian blue, sort of Prussian blue purple light mix, which I'm using as a kind of black, so I'm going to need a quantity of things. Now there's a pink in, I've got some context. So that's going to be useful. So I'm going to make some more of these colours. I can't quite remember how I did it, but I'll start with the flake white. Flake white has a lower tinting strength, so you don't need as much pigment going in it. That might be too much already, but I'm sure I can use it in places. Yeah, that was too much yellow ochre there. That's okay. Make it a bit more rosy. You can help it along with a bit of titanium white as well. Yeah, so titanium white will wash it right out. Yeah. Yeah. Bit of that purple. Let's see what it does. Okay. Back over here. Really careful.
So are these going to be skin tones?
Yeah. Well, they're the ones that I'd already mixed. I'm just mixing more of them and putting them down. So they're in the ballpark. Obviously, that's a lot more peachy, that one. A bit of that. A bit of that pink going in it as well. There's a slight yellow in this, but I think that's more. Is that your choice of foundation?
Possibly.
Going on there. No, it matches your neck, so if it's foundation, but there's an evenness
Yeah,
to
that's
your
good.
complexion,
That's good. So I've managed it.
which I feel like is deliberate. But no, thank you for not overdoing it with the makeup, because it's if I were allowed to wear makeup and I was going to be on camera or being portraited, I would smoke myself in it.
I kind of have, so if you can't tell, it's good.
No, but yeah, it's generally avoid being portraited in that outfit. What other things and what other colours am I buying here?
I realised that as soon as you said find a focal point over my shoulder and look at it, I haven't looked at it once since. So would you
No.
like me to start?
No, you're fine actually. I think you kind of talked to Graham. That's the
Can I apologise?
That's the head angle.
I want a refund.
That's the head angle now. Right, there's some subtle in between. Let's see. Take that. Bit yellow. Bit red. Some quite subtle shadows, but they're sort of important for the face shape. Warm up a bit. It's too blue now, so. Oh, that could be okay. Yeah, good place for that. Gets warmer around the cheeks. That you can manage a little bit of cadmium red. Yeah. Oh, it's quite good this white. I'm used to it being a bit weaker.
Is that a new white, or is that
No,
the colours that you're mixing?
I have a few different ones. I use the IGH quite a lot, but not doing much. It's the Williamsburg, so it's got a bit more of a pigment load. Yeah, just behaves a bit differently. And the last one, we've already got these blues in here. I think they do an awful lot. I don't overthink that. Okay, mix a grey.
So tell us a little bit about you then, away from work, away from stuff. Just
That's an open-ended question. It's impossible to answer.
it's not really. Because I always find it interesting the first thing that somebody goes to.
Isn't it? Well, that's how we relate to each other, I suppose. What do you do? What do you do? Let's put you where I can understand you.
Again, I had this conversation with Belle last week. It's like a good one is what to do in spare time. Because somebody might not work.
I read. I like to spend a lot of time outside if I can. I love trees, so anytime I can, I go to the forest. Like I live obviously quite near the New Forest, so I go there quite a lot. Me and Ben spent a lot of time in summer there, which is really nice. There's a park like 5 minutes from my house as well, so I spend all my time there when it's not raining and horrible and dark at 3 p.m. What do I do? Good question. Bit of painting. As you know, I tuned in last week, my little paint by numbers, watching along. I'm just like, I'm just going to put this down and watch it actually work. Watched a lot of TV, films. I used to play the viola, and I took it back off my mum recently with the intention to start learning that again, just as another creative outlet. But I haven't found any musical books yet that I want to play.
So you've effectively just stolen your mum's viola.
No, it's mine.
Yeah.
I've stolen it back.
All right.
Relieved her of the burden of carrying this like 15-year-old instrument. Yeah. I'm sure I do loads of other things, but I probably couldn't tell you what they are right now.
Yeah. It's that sort of question, isn't it? Just makes your mind go blank.
Who am I? Who are any of us?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I find that like, first thing on a Monday morning when you sort of say to people, cool, hey, nice to see you. How was your weekend? Literally no idea what I did.
Did I have
The
one?
last 2 days. Yeah.
Must have, yeah.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
What else do I do? Don't know. Bit of DIY around the house. I own a flat, so there's always stuff to be done there. I wouldn't say I enjoy that, but it is definitely something to do. Not DIY minded girly. But I'm decent at it when I try. Like, I've built a fence before. I chopped my sofa into pieces and rebuilt it because I couldn't fit it in through the door of my flat. And I was so committed to the sofa. If you saw a picture of it, you'd understand. It's this big pink and red leather and fabric. I want to say monstrosity, but I actually love it. It's just very...
Well, it can still be a monstrosity, but you
It's
just
a
love
beautiful
it.
monstrosity. It's my monstrosity, but it was just too big. Like, we couldn't fit it in the window. I even hired movers, and they spent like an hour just on my sofa trying to get it in. Got the armchair in, smashed everything to pieces, like all the furniture and what have you, smashed to pieces. Fine, whatever. It's in the flat. I'm happy. When it comes to the sofa, we're looking at the window, too big. We're looking at, wedge it this way, up this way. It was stuck in my hallway for a good half
That's
an hour.
quite impressive with removals people as well, because they can
I
look at
know.
things in a completely different manner to everybody else.
I know. The tricky thing is I've got like my front door and then like a couple of steps down, tiny hallway, door, hallway, and then my lounge door's there. So it's quite a lot of contortioning. So in the end I had it in my hallway, blocking my hallway for about a week, and I was like, oh, do something with this, what can I do? What can I do? Chop it to pieces and redo it on the other side. So I just flipped it over and like cut all the base bits out, sawed it to pieces, and made it flexible so that I could wiggle it in, and then rebuilt the base of it. And
That's impressive, I like that.
hardcore stuff. I think it took me like 2 days all in, with a couple of trips to B&Q in the middle of that. Not something I enjoy doing, but I can do it.
Also, especially, not the something that you love, and taking a kind of saw to it and just going, this is
I managed
so
to keep the top part in one piece, and I just sort of, mashed the base up so I could flex it around. It was hard work, but worth it.
Ben's just messaged you, so I'll take the Ben slander, but I won't sit for the Bean slander.
Oh god, he texted me saying I had to redeem Mr. Bean's good name, so I'm slacking on my responsibilities to Mr. Bean.
I thought I did a pretty good job of defending Mr. Bean.
Yeah. But I don't know whether Ben doesn't like the idea that
What do you mean,
he's a
the
nasty
character?
man.
I
Oh.
think that's probably what he took against, to be honest. Ben, why
Oh.
can clarify, please?
Yeah, but Ben's an engineer. He can't read human interactions properly. He doesn't realise how obnoxious Mr. Bean really is.
I'm waiting.
He's going, I wonder if you could steer a Mini like that, whilst everyone else is going, what kind of selfish lunatic would do that, rather than like think about other people's safety.
But that is the joke, isn't it?
It
That
is,
he's
yeah.
so oblivious.
So where do you sit with, is it Frank Spencer on Some Others Do Adam?
That was just annoying, wasn't it? I mean, it was just. What was he meant to be?
Yeah.
Mr. Bean, you can actually relate to elements of Mr. Bean. You can see bits in yourself. You can go, oh yeah, if I let myself, I could behave like that. Frank Spencer, what was he? Was he an alien? No one's like that. That is a person. No one's going, oh, I know someone just like that. It was just sort of, that didn't make any sense to me at all.
I haven't seen it.
The theme tune was amazing.
Go on.
That's
That's it.
I was waiting for you.
You have a really good ability to just sort of think of a tune and know exactly how to sing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, very good.
Um,
Yeah, that's it.
One day, if you're lucky, I'll do the instrumental break from the Wombles.
I saw them live, I'll have you know. In Alderney.
Was it the real Wombles or was it cover that?
I mean, it better have been the real Wombles. I was like 4, so I don't know if I would have known the difference, but my dad said it was the real one, so I will be picking that up with him after.
Thanks for acknowledging me. James's assessment is apt. I watched Mr. Bean in the form of an informative how-to guide for near-human success.
That explains a lot.
There was a thing Glenn said a few times last week, which I've heard. I had come out of my mouth maybe once, but I've heard it in my brain most days that I've been alive, which is how do I pretend to be a human?
Right, yeah.
And it's a real struggle. You know?
It
It's,
is.
because there's this sort of, I have no problem being me, but other people don't seem that happy with the idea.
Oh, that's it. And I love that we're at the point in society where we can openly say, how do I be a human? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't get it. Because I've always felt that. How do you do it? And
Yeah.
it up until, I suppose, quite recently, it was a weird thing to, like, people who wouldn't say it.
Wasn't it that kind of phrase of adulting as
Yes.
well as another one?
It is like that, and people are saying things like that. You're going, what about like just start with humaning? Like,
Yeah. I don't like adulting. I don't know, the term just...
that's just, it annoys me that people think they can use words like that without any recriminations. Someone needs to be around to shout at them, make them feel awful about themselves for using words like that.
But yeah, I think people that need to be shouted at massively are the people that use the term hollybobs. It's just,
We'd eradicated that. Is that still happening?
it is, yeah.
Wow.
What are you doing on your hollybobs? I'm not going on hollybobs. I'm
Is it
having a
cute
holiday.
word?
No, it's not.
Hollybobs sounds cute, but like we've used it too much. It's too much.
Yeah, or people that count time in sleeps.
Oh yeah, 8 sleeps till Christmas or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There should be like, you know, the thing is, I know it's not okay to use physical violence against people, and I would never, but they'd learn quicker, wouldn't they? I mean, just like a little punch.
Yeah.
It's not straight on the nose, you know, the sort of thing you don't forget.
Stuff, yeah, it'd make your eyes water, but not enough to break it.
Yeah.
And it's a, you know, it's aversion therapy, really. Oh, I nearly said hollybobs, but the last time I said that, I had to go to A&E. They learn.
We'd put them off,
They
wouldn't it?
learn.
We'd put them off.
And we'd all have learned something, wouldn't we, at some point? I'm not saying it in any way exempt from this, but yeah, I think we're just too tolerant. Really.
That's because I think cancel culture's got so big that no one really says what they think anymore. It's all just palatable.
Do you think
I don't want to get in trouble, sort
Do you
of.
think it's cancel culture?
Well, that's a term used for, I don't know, people's general.
Well, that's more to
frustration.
do with sort of the media and that kind of thing, isn't it?
True, the cancel culture is very big. It's a very big thing. It's more for like celebrities and stuff. But I do think
I don't
we are
think,
a
you
lot
know,
less tolerant.
Giving
of
someone a little slap for
these
saying
days.
hollybobs is cancel.
No. It was just a term to point towards that sort of behaviour, I suppose, because I think people are generally less tolerant of others than they used to be.
All right, you think it's a way of covering that up?
Either that or we just know more about people than we did in the past.
That's kind of like interesting though, because you said I think people are less tolerant of other people, but yet we are more open with saying, how do I act to be a human? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, it doesn't make sense to me either, but it's interesting to think about. I feel like a lot of the problems happen and exist online, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you just go outside and talk to a person, all gravy, baby, no problems. Unless you've forgotten how to be a human for that day, in which case you might struggle a little bit, but it should be fine. But generally, people you talk to in life are lovely and really just worth talking to. I love chatting to strangers that I see out and about in public. Usually they start talking at me because of my hair, and it goes from there. But yeah, I think a lot of... I don't know.
They don't
Very
always
happy the internet at the moment.
respond to your finger pistols, though, do they?
No, that's true. I didn't think about no finger gun man. I think people in real life are nice. I'll draw you a little sketch of him after so you can bad.
Yeah.
Make him known. So I feel like you turned into like a real Sherborne villain at this point.
Or every time he comes in, we just finger gun. And eventually, we'll wear him down. and over the course of time, he'll do it back.
I think that's the plan. Do it.
I might pick a customer and do that.
Yeah.
Until they do finger guns back.
You've got to have regulars that you. But they probably just finger gun you, wouldn't they? No question.
But the more we say the term finger gun, it also sounds sort of slightly wrong,
Okay.
like more wrong every time we say it. Yeah.
We'll put that in the pile with like zombie Nazis and Mr. Bean slander and it's fine for now. It's fine.
I'm feeling more and more excluded from this conversation.
Oh,
Bring it back.
bring it in.
Mm.
You
Big
pick
hug,
next
group
topic.
hug.
No,
Say a
just-
word and we'll just riff off it.
no, but the list of things you just said were all things
Are
that
they
I
your
said.
favourite ones?
It's the only contributions I've made with you.
I can vaguely hear that tiny violin. The saddest tune playing in the corner. Yeah, good point there. Yeah, you feel excluded, James. Come up with a topic. We'll riff off that. It's something obscure. Spatula.
Part of it.
Amazing. Spatula time.
Smash my face. That's what he wants to do.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Get.
Yeah. It's a stupid idea.
I'm talking about my things. I'll show you.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing. I'm very glad to have grown with an assistant. It's made everything much more interesting. But it's also made me realise that every time the conversation starts to go somewhere where I go, oh, this could be interesting, he changes the subject.
What did I find reading?
Probably for a very good reason. And that's so I'm sort of pointing out to me again and again that conversations I would have, the very last ones that should be allowed to have.
But those I think are also the most fun. I only named those things because they were the most controversial, but that is the most fun thing to talk about. So much fun fishing. Too much. Sort of like fail, I'm pretty sure failed physics, but well, torn it back.
Okay, now this is tricky here. Genuinely tricky. Do a mouth open or closed? It's this sort of halfway in between. No, because if you're proper animated.
Shall I do a couple of faces? You can pick which one you like.
No, but just generally when you're talking,
Yeah.
there is this sort of.
I was thinking about that earlier. I've got a very animated face when I talk, so good luck catching it. There's going to be a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, now you're going to have to take over the talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's me.
Oh, blimey.
See, mind blank.
Yeah, yes, so great.
Got ya.
Touche.
Touche, yeah. I can see what that problem. Would you ever move back to Guernsey, Channel Islands? And if not, why not?
I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot at the moment, and recent because I do miss it. I'm homesick a lot, and I've got little brothers who I quite like to see grow up.
How old are they?
They are 12, 9, and 3.
Cool.
Yeah. So very, very cute, very loud, very chaotic, very fun. My littlest brother sent me, well, he didn't send me, my dad sent me a little video of him before. He was just demanding that I come home. Trying to grab the phone thinking he could see me in it, but it's like, it's so cute. So maybe, but also maybe not. I want to do a bit more travelling. My plan was always to leave home, get my degree, and then go travelling, but I didn't go travelling. So I'm kind of, how do I work that idea back into life? See? What about van life with Ben? That could be quite fun. I think we'd have a lot of fun in van. I spent my summer in a van last year, and that was a lot of fun. And I know Ben would love it.
Where did you go?
You're right. So I followed the Red Hot Chili Peppers around tour.
Oh, okay.
5 weeks.
Wow.
That was the best thing I ever did. Yeah, it was insane. Absolutely insane.
So how many times did you see them?
5 times.
That's cool.
Yeah. We saw them in honestly, Belgium, and then Milan, and then France, and then London, and then Glasgow. Yeah, I did the Glasgow gig by myself, but I've never done a solo gig before. That was really fun. Got right to the front. I made friends with this lady who said I looked like a kid. I was like, cool, I'll be friends for this gig.
What? Strange as a kid.
No, you look like my kid.
Oh,
not
right.
you look like a kid. Thankfully, that would have helped.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun. Really fun.
Are they good live?
Yeah. They haven't always been, I'll tell you. I saw them in 2016 when Josh was still at the guitarist, Josh Klinghoffer.
Yeah.
Not good. And then I saw them in 2022 when John Frusciante was back. Perfection. No, they were amazing. But yeah. And funny enough, I was chatting about them to my new manager. And he asked, and he said the same thing. He's like, I saw them live and they weren't very good. I was like, when did you see them? Because John is the magic ingredient. He's the key to the band's passion and success, in my humble opinion.
So, yeah, I always find little nuggets like that quite interesting. A band member who isn't, he's not frontman, but yeah, is the glue that kind of sticks an entire bit together.
It's those four is the secret sauce. Because if I had the guitarists, definitely. Dave Navarro was in the band for a spell back in the punky coffee shop era. One Hot Minute, I think, was the album. And you can tell the Dave Navarro is the guitarist. It's dark, it's heavy, it's very punky, but also bringing in their punk roots because they started out a lot of punk influences growing up in LA in the 80s. Did a bit of punk thing themselves, which is cool. But, yeah, John is the magic, I'd say. And seeing them all, it was incredible. Don't, because I will talk about this for the rest of the night.
Brilliant, that was great.
But no one ever gives me a floor to talk about the Chili Peppers. This is dangerous. No, I've got nothing to say. But yeah, I'm obsessed with one particular song called Eddie, and I saw that live for the first time in Milan. I think I peaked, to be quite honest. It was like the most beautiful sunny day. It'd been like 30 degrees all day. I was just in the best mood because I'm going to see the Chili Peppers tonight. Got a sick t-shirt of the festival, met some cool people, and then I saw that song come on. Like the sun was setting, and they just started playing it. And it was the first time I'd ever heard it live, and I must have listened to it over 1,000 times by now. It came out last October, and it's been in like top 3 of my on repeat Spotify playlist. Since then, I listened to it daily, and seeing it live was just dream come true. It's like, shit, what do I do now? What do I do now? I don't know where to go.
So are they all festivals that you went to then?
Half and half.
Okay.
The first 2 were festivals. I went to I-Days in Belgium, I-Days in Milan, and Rock Worcester in Belgium, which was really cool. Ended up bumping into a pair of parents whose kids were inside, and they all had matching Chili Peppers hats on, but just little Chili Peppers, nothing to do with the actual band. And they insisted on giving us their hats so that we could go and find their kids in the concert. I was like, we'll try. It's a very big festival. And I'm sure we're not the only people wearing Chili Peppers hats. Didn't find the kids, but we had fun. And then we went to, what was it, London Stadium in Tottenham Stadium, football one.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Interesting. What was also a stadium. Yeah, Iggy Pop was playing just before them and we missed him by a hair, which I was so disappointed about. Just managed to miss all the supporting acts. Didn't care, but it's fine. I only really cared about Iggy Pop. Was touring with Post Malone. They were touring with Post Malone, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that's quite a combination, isn't it?
I would have liked to see how that played out on stage. I'm a fan of Posty. Love him. Love his country diversion. That's great. Big fan of country Posty, but Posty and Peps. Who knows?
So that's like a top band for you then? Mm-hmm. And
Doing everything in my power not to whip out my Russian Chili Peppers tattoo.
No, do it. Go for it. Let's see.
Oh,
amazing.
Everyone has it there, but all there. I don't know which wrist it is because that's where Anthony and John have it.
And favourite album?
They asked me to choose a favourite child. I don't have a favourite. You go by mood. If I'm in a punk mood, I'll put on 1.5 Minute. If I'm in a more of a rock mood, I'll put on Unlimited Love. Couldn't think of the name then. I always forget that album name.
People always say that you do have favourite children. You didn't have a problem with having a favourite parent.
Sorry, mother, if you're watching. Here's you. True. I mean, overall favourite probably Stadium Arcadium. Alright, you forced it out of me. It's fine. Stressed now, I've made my decision.
Yeah.
I love them all, but yeah, Stadium Arcadium I always go back to.
Very well.
Just a straight banger. It's a double album of just straight bangers. Some of the other albums have like a selection of incredible songs and then mid songs and a couple of really I wouldn't really
Questionable,
yeah, kind of questionable. But Stadium Arcadium full of bangers.
Like, what was it that first, like, bit you with them?
I used to listen to them when I was growing up. I used to listen to them in the car with my dad, and I was always a fan. And then they got me through some pretty rough periods in life, so I just got more of an affinity from then. And then the obsession's kind of built. You know, you see him live once, next thing you know, you're following around Europe in a van, watching them 5 times, spending like millions of pounds on concert tickets, and just having a blast. Yeah, escalated. Well, I was going to say quickly, but slowly but quickly.
So, yeah, don't want me to ask, when were the tough times?
Oh, depresso times. Yeah, just general dark times. Uni. Post-uni.
Is that the kind of, like, first step away from home?
Yeah, that was hard. That was definitely hard. Especially because I couldn't just hop on a train and like go and see my parents. It was quite an involved trip. But I did it really...
Which I guess is sort of against what a lot of your fellow students could do.
Yeah, they could just hop on the trains and see their parents quickly, you know, a couple hours train up north. Whereas it wasn't too tricky to get to, but it was just long-winded, you know, train to Clapham, train to Waterloo. No, I've done that wrong, but you know what I mean. Like 3 trains to the airport, then a flight home sort of thing. Involved and expensive. Yeah, it's tricky. But I mean, that is what I wanted, and then I was just, oh, I miss my family.
I never did the uni thing.
No. Loads of people didn't. Loads of people didn't. I don't think it's essential. I don't think it necessarily helps me get a job in any way. Never surprised about it. Just a fun thing that I went and did for 4 years. But good.
Are you still in contact with any uni?
Yeah, I got a really good friend called Matilda who lives in Norway. I went to see her twice last year as well. It was a brilliant year for travelling. Absolutely brilliant. She got married last year. So cute. I'm obsessed with her and her husband. They have been together since we were at uni. That's where they met. So I feel like I've seen their relationship blossom. And then when they're like, we've been together 10 years, I'm like, sorry, how long? Because no. We met like 2 minutes ago. Like, we're still students in the middle of the Monday, like, getting £2 glasses of wine. Like, you're married, you got a mortgage, you're going to have babies. Like, oh my gosh, stop it. But yeah, they're so cute. They got married last year in this, like, cosy little barn off somewhere near Oslo. And it was a magical wedding. And yeah, went to the Hindu as well. Amazing, messy. We spent all day. My friend, her best friend in Norway had set up like a Dungeons and Dragons themed treasure hunt thing in her neighbourhood. So she had to go around her neighbourhood and find all these different clues. And which one of them involved me dressed as a witch, hiding at a bus stop with a massive bottle of sparkly green vodka. And it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. I was just chilling, you know, why not, wait for the guys to come and get me sort of thing. Very strange, very strange. I obviously, you know, the pink hair's quite eye-catching anyway, picture a large witch hat on the top of this, black dress, big boots sort of thing, just sitting at the bus stop.
Yeah, my Dungeons and Dragons Hindu theme idea never took off.
Oh, what was it?
It wasn't a rap, just imagining someone coming up with pitching that idea. You know what Hindus love?
Dungeons and Dragons, maybe. It was good. It was good. I don't know where the theming came into it, but I don't play Dungeons and Dragons, so
Well, like, speaking of the gaming thing, that's where you and Ben met, wasn't it?
board game night. Yeah. We met in a, what was it? You called it dingy basement. Yeah. I just gone through a rough breakup, and I was.
You got to continue on the statement from the dungy basement. We met in the dungy basement.
At a club.
Right, lovely.
Authorised.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just gone through a rough breakup, and it was the kind of breakup where you're just like, oh my god, I need to be around people, I'm going to lose my mind, like I need something to do, sort of thing. Like Sudoku's can only get you so far, so I was like, alright, I just need to get out, I need to do something fun. And I can't remember, I think my friend Vicky mentioned it to me actually, a girl I used to work in the same building as. And she said, oh, the board game club on Monday. I said, I love board games, cool, sold. And yeah, it's really good. I haven't been back to the club in so long. I keep every Monday. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go back. I found Ben and was like, oh, I'm good now.
Yeah.
So, I did.
He's going to be petrified if you ever say, you know what, I'm going to go back to the board game.
Well, it's like where I took my friend along and then just never went back. And I was like, every time I see her, it's just like, oh, she's good. I'm like, no, no, I haven't been back. But I should really. We set up our own secondary secret board game club for a period, and that was way more fun than the OG club. So I might reignite the secret one back up again.
Why did you create a secret club?
We just took all our favourite people out the main group and made another group.
Oh dear, no.
There was only me, Ben, and another guy, so it was a small.
That's the whole thing. Is if you're in a WhatsApp chat group,
Yeah.
that has a WhatsApp chat group spur off of it,
Yeah.
and you're not that person that's gone into the same group, then you're not in the cooler group.
I know.
Oh.
It's hardcore. But, like I say, it was just me, Ben, and this other guy. We just were like, we're all the same kind of weird. Let's make another little group. And that was good, but he's just had a baby, so he's off the grid.
So it's you and Ben.
Just played some Pandemic at the weekend. It's great fun. But yeah, we play a lot of board games and puzzles. Add that to my list of interests from earlier.
Puzzles, nice.
Puzzles, yes. I mentioned Sudokus. I love Sudokus. That's so good.
While you're doing that, and then when you finished it, you just got this piece of glitter.
Well, I do them online now. I found a website the other day that's got all the Sudokus you could ever want. It's just called Sudoku.com. I assume it's on a limitless situation. It's just all of them. So I feel like that'll do for a
I guess
while.
it's better for the forests.
Yeah. That's it.
There must be a formula to work out how many Sudokus could actually be made.
Yes, there is.
There will be. Good with maths, but I don't
There
know
are
what it
people
is.
that really enjoy doing Sudokus because it gives them a chance. They don't want to actually solve them in their heads. They want to use programs and stuff like that. That's what's interesting too, which I can kind of relate to.
It's another kind of puzzle solving. Isn't
Exactly,
It?
it's just doing it on their own terms.
Or you're using a puzzle to try and solve your own puzzle.
Puzzle about to keep me entertained. It's a good one.
Okay. Still fighting this a little bit.
Don't worry. He says that a lot.
So that corner is.
Have you sat for a portrait before?
Ah! I wasn't worried.
Yeah.
I never realised that. I just artistic by.
So yeah, it's very tricky when someone is talking and moving, but it's better than them sitting still looking worried. So actually, the
So we got some sedate topics, so I won't get too animated. We won't talk about the chili peppers again, or puzzles, or that. Just
actually, it was nice hearing that the Red Hot Chili Peppers career sort of carried on.
yeah.
Because you can, obviously, like any band, they have their sort of moment for a group of people who then kind of carry on with their lives. So when I was 19, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic, and Rage Against the Machine came out the same year, 1991, and it was epic. And there was this totally different feeling about everything, and that was in part due to that record. And at the time, we knew there was this sort of special thing, and this feeling of it belonging to us, which actually every generation of young people needs. they need to have a thing that they feel like is theirs.
Mm.
You know, and previous generations had it with, with comedy. There was a generation for whom Monty Python was theirs, and that generation, the Goon Show was theirs, and for some people, the Beatles was theirs, or the Rolling Stones, or Elvis, or whoever, and we might have been that sort of 90s generation might have been close to the last generation that really had that.
Roughly. Everything started getting a lot more digital after, didn't it?
Yeah, and so it was more available, and it was also more broken up. It was like, here's the 3 new records, which one do you like? That went away. It was like, now there's everything for everyone, wherever.
Yeah.
What have you downloaded off LimeWire? Never heard of it. And that happened pretty quick.
Mm.
But I don't like, and I've thought this for a while, that there haven't been bands or artists of notoriety that you kind of want to follow for any real length of time. They're kind of there, they're designed to be there for a moment.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there is anyone. I don't feel like people are allowed to be bad anymore. Like, if they are, it's just, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Off with you. Like, never speak of you again, sort of thing. Like you don't really encourage that anymore, do we?
Mm.
And I think that's partly due to the not pop, but the music industry is just commercialising people. How much money can we squeeze out of these artists? Because they can't go forever. They'll burn out eventually. So we just need to, get a lot of money out of them while we can. It's aggressive.
I don't know, maybe they're not. I'm not a big fan of Coldplay. They seem to manage to keep reinventing themselves, but are actually relatively recent.
That's true.
You always said they were your favourite band.
No. I did.
How you go on and on about it?
I prefer his music.
You had
Yeah,
that
he's
picture
got
of Chris Martin used to carry with you everywhere. The one with Gwyneth Paltrow's eyes scratched out.
Yeah.
Remember? It's a selective memory.
His music did get a lot better after he left it, but anyway. Personal opinion. Yeah.
I don't listen to much Coldplay.
No.
I wouldn't know. Probably super fan you are.
But in terms of bands, as of late, there's no others that, if you look sort of 5 years ago, are really still kicking around and creating some really decent music.
I couldn't think of any band that even came out 5 years ago. No.
Probably, no, it's a hell of a lot longer. But Arctic Monkeys could be another one, and they have reinvented themselves a couple of times, and their albums are completely stark.
Very different.
Yeah.
I wonder when they started. They must have been early 2000s though, right?
Yeah.
They were a MySpace band, weren't they?
That's end of my secondary school.
Yeah.
They kind of single-handedly destroyed MySpace, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, how?
By becoming successful, having been supposedly discovered on MySpace, and then suddenly it was just full of lots of people's bands all following each other but not listening to each other, and then it was just,
That's why the platform got through.
yeah, it was awful.
I loved a bit of MySpace back in the day. But yeah, it was ridiculous at the same time.
Okay, this is actually, yeah.
So other than the Chili Peppers, then, is music quite a big part of your life?
Yeah, definitely. I was showing Ben my About page on the website earlier and he roasted me because I mentioned music like 3 times. He said, you can't say it that much. I was like, but you're going to hear me talk about it in like probably the first few interactions with me. It's going to come up, so, might as well. So yeah, I would say so. Yeah. What about you?
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Probably 9 Inch Nails.
No. I don't think I've listened to them that much. Or what I've heard.
Hurt. Johnny Cash covered it.
That, yes, I have. Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I could have heard any of them, to be fair.
but it's from kind of as soon as I wake up to go to bed, music's on.
Yes.
Love Spotify for finding new stuff, weird stuff, interesting stuff.
I don't know how I found music before Spotify. Like, I feel like I was always finding music, but now I don't know how, because it's so easy in Spotify. You just chuck a radio on and then you've got and it's just endless, isn't it?
I genuinely look forward to Mondays because of Discover Weekly.
I don't feel like my Discover Weekly is ever that good. I feel like I stumble upon my new music more than I just, but maybe I need to check the playlist out a bit more.
So yeah, it found some really interesting, cool, weird, amazing stuff. And
Yeah, and the same with the Chili's. I can listen to them all day, every day, and not get bored. So they're like, not background music, because that's like the service to them and how much I enjoy them, but they are, quite get bored of them. My poor Ben has to listen to the same songs over and over again, and I'm like, yes! He's like, oh no, I spent 10 times today.
I reckon I could still remember all the bass lines of Blood Sugar Sex Magic now.
Do you reckon?
Oh yeah. I think they're indelibly printed in.
I can't remember that.
They're a great record. They're a great band.
that's an interesting basis to try and follow as well.
Mm.
Like, phenomenal basis.
So
What is it? The thing with Fleet is he's got this particular style. You know, I mean, anyone could learn to do what he does. In the sense that it's not, you know, you can play it on the bass. Anyone who can play a bass will probably have a crack at it. You know, and some of it's tricky, but it's more about you could spend your whole life learning someone else's output, but it's still their output. And he plays things. He chooses to play things that other people, you know. There's this sort of, and like you say, it is a group effort. There's this whole band. And they're all sort of on the same page.
I feel, as you were describing how Fleet plays, I feel the same about John. Like, he has a lot of
it's very
notable...
Hendrix.
I was going to say Hendrix. He's notably inspired by a lot of the greats, but his style is so distinctly him. And he is so perfect on music theory. Like, he knows so much about how to play technically, but he's also spent a lot of time playing in a lot of other people's styles. And through that, he's just found his own. And I feel like that's the magic to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, that you can't bottle it. Why doesn't it work with anyone else? Because Flea and John have that magic. I mean, Chad's an insane drummer. Like, I never in my life thought I would just enjoy sitting listening to drum solos, but like hearing him play is just insanely good. I was the only person dancing in the little jam bits and the breaks, if you will, between songs, because I'm just like, wow, this is just their raw musical energy. Like, Anthony's great, don't get me wrong. He's not always the best singer. He's got a lot of personality he brings to the band. Some good, some bad. But the three of them, set them off, watch them go. Amazing.
But also, it's amazing when you stumble across a band that does that to you as well.
Yeah.
And there's no rhyme or reason as to why Red Hot Chili Peppers really, flicks your switch, and why Nine Inch Nails flicks mine. There's just something, I find that really interesting with music as well. And I think that's, like, when you meet somebody and you actually share that same connection, it is a shared connection, but it's not the same connection.
Yeah, you'll let the music and have a totally different experience to me, and you'll have different memories, different history, but it obviously means a lot to you as well, which is really special. You can nerd out about it in the same sort of way.
Yeah.
Like, I had a housemate at uni that was obsessed with Stereophonics. Like, they knew her because she'd been to so many of their gigs and she got to the front so much. Like,
Slightly worrying.
they'd keep her back. Like, she was known to the band. She'd been to see them so many times, always at the front, always tweeting them, like, I'm going tonight. And they'd start replying to her, like, they knew who she was, sort of thing. And I was like, girl, you're crazy. Like, who's into been into a band that much, and now like, here I am.
It's sort of having the same sort of situation with Jordan, who is the comedian that we.
Yeah.
He said that he met Myers. Is it Myers?
Austin Powers?
No. Who am I trying to think of? He's missed me completely. Can you remember him, James?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mike the man.
McIntyre.
Michael
McIntyre. I didn't particularly like him, but anyway, went to a gig of his, ended up meeting him,
Yeah.
and
Who was hiding?
he was hiding behind a pillar because there was a woman that came to every one of his gigs, and he was just like, I just don't want to sit, and I just don't want to. And you just think, you're like a comedy megastar hiding
Cowering
from
behind a pillar from a nice lady who just really likes you. Bless. Oh.
But yeah,
You guys like
stereophonics
it.
and that real as well. There might be certain times when it's just like, shit, just I'm not walking
Tell
around
us when you arrive and where you are.
Yeah.
Are you coming tonight? So we know. Not yeah. I was desperately hoping the Chili Pepper would see like the pink hair continuation through the 5 gigs, but
No.
I realised our mistake too late though. We should have taken a giant English flag. Plonk that in the middle of Belgium, Milan, France, etc. Might not have gone down very well in all the places. I feel like the French might have had an objection, but it would have got them on their radar. Would have got them on their radar.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Cause a stir and then they'll be there.
so I'll just do the same next year. They got me touring again soon. I feel like I will just do the same thing next time they tour because they're not going to be around forever. They're getting old. No.
Maybe sort of 60s now.
Mid 60s. I think actually 68 maybe. They're getting up there. So much stage energy considering their age though. Like they had more energy than me. And I'm like, I don't understand how you put that out for like 2 solid hours. That's
Probably,
insane.
Prescription drugs.
Oh, they're all sober. I think Flea might dabble in lighter things, but no, they're all sober.
Oh yeah, well they had that whole thing of
Yeah.
they used to all be on the smack, didn't they?
Oh, very troubled pasts.
Didn't lead singer break his back as well by trying to jump into a swimming pool and miss from a balcony?
I don't know if that was him. It could well be, but I don't know if that was
I
him.
don't have a reason. That's
I know someone definitely did that. I recognise the story, but I don't know if it's okay. It sounds like something you would do. It's my little pet thing. Yeah. I know he's always got knee braces on stage, but I don't know back to back. But he just alright.
I always thought it was a bit of a thing, because I'm something I often say to people, that for growing up, that sort of, I think they call it Generation X, don't they? Although we rarely get mentioned, because we're sort of under the radar, because we were, I know how young people today complain about boomers, but we were the ones who couldn't be heard because of the boomers. So the best band in 1967, probably the Rolling Stones. That's probably what everybody agreed was the best band. What do you think it was in 1997? Still the bloody Rolling Stones, because all those people are still alive. They're still in charge, and there's more of them than everyone else. That was what it was like living under the boomer generation.
Oh, no.
So exactly. So I always thought there was this. I remember having the strong feeling then that, well, we're not going to do that. You know, that hope I die before I get old. You know, we're gonna back out gracefully. And I think there was a lot more of that. But you know, I mean, are the Rolling Stones still playing? It's only recently that stopped, the last few years or something like that.
I was gonna say
And you just
anything
think,
else, but no,
like they look like your grandma. And it's just embarrassing.
I don't know how Keith Richards is still alive, to be honest.
People have been wondering that for about 30 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like at this point, like, come on, how do you what you do? What's
Good genes, luck, probably a post-war diet.
Yeah.
Probably rationing saved him from everything he did afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Right. I also think they've got so much money they can be unhumanly healthy.
Well, Keith Richards has always put it down to only having the good stuff, which is, there's probably something to be said for that.
Yeah. Grimacing thinking about what the £2 bottles of wine I've drunk over the years and the varying hangovers resulted. He's probably right. Yeah. It's so much worse the cheaper it gets. It's $2 for £5 at my corner shop. What are you going to do?
Yeah, when you're on student money. I'm actually quite looking forward to this. It's the sort of beginning to mid bit of December where people's Spotify roundups start happening.
I'm obsessed with Spotify Wrapped. I don't really care about anyone else's, but I love mine.
It's just so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what genuinely have I been listening to over the course of the year?
Insane. I mean, they're always insane for me. Like, I always find, like we say about the discovery stuff, like, I always have so many new artists, and like, you're a tastemaker or a discoverer or whatever, like an adventurous person with music. I quite like that.
It would tell you nice things about yourself. It would.
Oh, yeah. But it also reveals the obsessive side of me.
Yeah, I'm genuinely quite worried as to how many hours I've listened to Spotify this year.
Oh, God, I think I spent like 30 days listening to music last year, which is a lot when you think about it.
It'd be quite fun to get Spotify and only listen to Herb Alpert and the 2-1 Brass, just to see what it has to do to come up with
It's a
something
plug
nice.
phone in, put it on repeat, press play, and that's it.
Yeah, you'd have to find something nice to say about your taste in music.
I'm unique. Oh, my little brother somehow got my Spotify on his Alexa, so he started listening to the Wurzels through it, and I was like, get off, you're going to ruin my raps, you can't do this, no. They went, oh, you discovered the Wurzels this year. Like, I couldn't like, do anything with my raps, but I was like, no, I need it to be pure. But I'm quite proud of this. I've been in the top 0.005% of Tame Impala's listeners for like the last 2 years running. It's really obsessive. I listen to a lot of Tame Impala. You'd think the Red Hot Chili Peppers would be up there, but no.
Yeah, I genuinely am quite interested as to what mine's going to show up this year.
Have you had a normal year for music, or have you been discovering
Loads of
discoveries?
Discoveries. So and some have been kind of like fairly obsessive listening stuff as well, which has been really cool.
I got very into Mongolian throat singing for about 2 weeks in the summer.
Oh, that's the Huh, was it?
Yeah, no, actually, I don't know. I can't think of the guy's name. It was Mongolian.
Well, that became a thing, didn't it? Mongolian throat singing. Just like people wanted to listen to it.
When? Was I accidentally part of a cultural movement? Or?
This year, right, there was genuinely a kind of like, oh, I'm listening to Mongolian throat music. And I think as soon as somebody said it, it's like, oh yeah, I kind of have been as well.
I don't know how we felt. It came up in our office one day. I don't know how it came about, but all of a sudden we were just listening to it for like the full day, and it was insanely good. We were like, we're loving it. So good. It had like an electronic beat, and then just this very like deep, reverberating song over the top of it. Exactly.
Overtones.
Mesmerising.
Well, the overtone singing has existed in quite a few different folk musics.
Mm.
But Mongolian throat singing is certainly the most famous. Close.
So the shine spots on the eyes, just immediately they went ding. That's your eyes. Really cool. Catch lights.
Which is the thing. I always tell people not to do teeth. But your teeth are quite distinctive. You're a smart person. You almost gesture with your teeth. Yeah. When you smile, you kind of project your smile forwards.
Oh, that's
Some people smile shyly. Yeah, problems as well. Well, I suppose if you know you've got good teeth, you sort of unconsciously do that.
I think they were very good. I want to crickets, but
No, it's not the cricket necessarily. It's
But I love cricket teeth. Some people are very cute.
So-
Like the white kind of Hollywood smile. I think
That's
it's strange.
that's just bizarre, isn't it?
Really odd, especially on English people, because
Mhm.
it's so incongruous with everything else in the country. Like I think it makes sense in America, where a lot of people are like that. But
It's
not
clearly not your real
here.
teeth, is
Well,
it?
exactly. It's so strange. They're so gleaming. It's like, wait.
Really tricky. Well, it's about the shape. I can't call it. I'm looking at it too closely now. No, you've stopped smiling. It's really self-conscious.
Smile, monkey, come on!
There they are. Okay. How are we doing for time?
Oh, it's 10 past.
9:10.
Mm.
Time flies.
I've gone over. Okay. Well, I'm pretty happy with that, but a bit of air before I finish. Just turn those colours up.
Have you decided what you're bringing to vinyl night yet?
Why?
Either of you.
Yeah, I've got one. Meh. Yeah, I've got one.
Or you can make a case for it.
No, it's. Yeah, it is a 9 Inch Nails track.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That'll be
It's-
good.
Sorry?
That'll be good.
Mm. Yeah, it's one of my favourites, and it's a little angry, but there's some really. I'm a bit of a geek, like with 9 Inch Nails, like you are with Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I found this lady online on YouTube called Ixie Music, and that's her channel. But she's a music teacher and has studied music, degree, whatever. Amazing pianist, and she loves rock music and heavy metal stuff, and will listen to it and then break it down. So she'll take what is effectively a 5-minute song, and over the course of half an hour, will pick that entire song apart in saying, this is a chord that's being used here, and this is why it sounds awkward, and this is why it sounds off, and this is why it sounds this is the way that he's made it sound, and so
I could do that channel.
you probably
I
could.
could have some fun doing things like that.
But it opened my eyes to the way that
Trent Reznor is a really good songwriter.
but it opened my eyes to the way, like, why he's such a good songwriter, and the things that he does in songs to make you feel a way without it being.
He's got all the devices, isn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like playing one slightly off but not completely wrong key in a chord, but it makes it really uncomfortable. And so you're listening to what effectively is quite a beautiful piece of music, but there's a reason that you're not comfortable with it sitting with you. And
That's interesting.
so then rather than kind of like sitting comfortably and listening to it, you're sitting uncomfortably and hearing it.
Yeah,
It's
that makes sense.
yeah. And that's so she's done quite a lot of the Fragile album. She's done quite a lot of Deftones as well. Deftones are quite high up on my list of bands. A few others as well, but it's so that's one of them is going to be another one is going to be probably from an artist called Lorne, who I discovered this year.
Lawn like a grass lawn?
No, Lorne. Experimental, weird, dark, just interesting music.
That was the one you went to see the other day. Did you have?
Oh,
you were going
that
to see.
was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully immersive thing. Actually, I played one of his at the last record night.
I was going to say I'd be interested in hearing them, because I've forgotten the name entirely.
Forest Swords.
Forest Swords. That was
Yes.
yeah. That'd be good.
And the immersive aspect of it was It was incredible.
Did they put on loads of like, lights and stuff? Or?
Projections on all 4 walls as you were in, and so he performed in the middle, and you had everything going on around you. It's like, it was insane, really cool.
We saw that, we had that when we saw Tool in May, I think it was. Massive screen behind the guys. And they weren't lit at all. So you just had, well, they were for some parts obviously, but for one song they were just all in darkness. And you could just see their silhouette against this like spicy red lava background. And the main singer, I can never think of his name, but he had this like massive spiky mohawk, and you just see that silhouette against the red lava. It was amazing. Yeah, they had a lot of lasers and stuff as well.
Nice.
Very cool. I like it when they really put on a show, you know, don't just come and sing at me for a bit, like make it a thing, you know, make it something tangible and cool.
There was a group of us in Sherborne who went to the Eden Project a couple of years ago, and we saw Nine Inch Nails at the Eden Project, which was insane. But the light show was happening on the domes behind them, which is that was, and also
what a venue as well.
Yeah,
I didn't know they did anything like that.
it's the only place in Cornwall that can house artists that size.
Oh wow.
Which is quite cool as well.
That's a very cool place.
A weird venue, but it's and what's it's super kind of just quaint in that for the day of the gig, your tickets get your entry into the Eden Project. So you can go around and just sort of go to the Eden Project, and you can also go the next day.
Oh, that's even
which is even so lovely.
So cute.
So you turn up like 4 hours before or whatever, and you can wander around and just sort of go into the Eden Project, and then stay over the following day, just go back and do that. Yeah, but also that one there was it was an evening gig obviously, but sun was setting. It was a bit of a piss poor day in that it was sort of raining as well. One of the most gentle tracks that they played, one called La Mer, came on. And there was a rainbow that appeared, which was just beautiful. But at the end of the gig, it said not only have we never played La Mer in the UK before, we've also never had a rainbow at any one of our gigs.
Very special.
And it was like, oh, and we're here, it's amazing.
What do you think of the Eden Project?
It's cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I've not been, but I'd like to. The dome's interesting.
Yeah, it's a back to it as a gig. I mean, it's an old night, it's an old quarry, so the acoustics are insane. But as a sort of event or as a venue itself, as the Eden Project, pretty spectacular. The domes are huge. You know, like you look at pictures of them and you just kind of go, that's domes. You just kind of walk through them, but they're massive.
Wow.
And also not quite as structured as I thought they would be. I thought they'd be much more rigid, but no, it's just like polytunnel stuff. But
I picture it as a proper like.
Yeah, no. So that's quite interesting. Yeah, you go in and there is it's microclimates in there. There's birds have flown in and can't get out, so then they make their sort of space there. And it's cool.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's good.
Sounds really interesting. I love that you just get tickets in.
Yeah. But it's worth looking. They're called Eden Sessions, and it's worth looking every year because they had Youngblood play there earlier this year, I think, or was it last year?
I like him as a person, but I don't know his music.
No. The week before was Lionel Richie.
Random. Any of his music.
No.
Like, what? I wasn't expecting that at all. Like, it's really nice.
But it's just but as a venue, I've got it saved as a.
Would go again.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
And so we'll always get their kind of emails to say this band is playing, this band is playing, because it's literally the only place in Cornwall that's big enough to house that sort of size bands, that kind of gig. So.
Lionel Richie was a big actor.
Yeah.
So the Commodores. The Commodores.
Perfect.
Brick House.
No.
We might have to do another rendition, James.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bring that to vinyl night instead of
educate these youngsters. What about you? Why do you bring us vinyl?
I don't have like my musical taste is not really reflected in my vinyl collection. I just pick up. I've got the most random vinyls. I think I've got a couple by Squeeze, which are bangers. Might bring them. I got Master and the Muffins. Got like country and like bluesy sort of bits that I don't think I've listened to. I got a load of free classical ones when I went home. There was a charity shop that was just giving them away. So I thought, yeah, I'm sure I'll get into classical at some point. I've got a few Chili Peppers ones, which I might have to. I was kidding. But I was saying to Ben, like, if I do put Eddie on, I will need the whole room to be silent for the solo at the end.
Yeah.
So don't bring it. And I was like, no, I'm sure everyone will be fine with that. They'll love it. They'll get it once they've heard it. Yeah, Eddie's got to be one of them. I don't know what else. Maybe Martha and the Muffins, just because that's a fun song, and then maybe one by Squeeze. See. Got a week to decide, I think.
Shit, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Not that far away now, is
Next
it?
week,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, not this weekend, it's next.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Saturday. Oh, I better start thinking.
That's bonkers.
Oh,
Oops. And I'm hosting it. Well, yeah, it's in the shop.
oh, of course.
Oh, yeah. Right. Reminder note to...
It's fine. It's fine. You got it already.
I just need to chat with Jamie and get the booze.
Yeah. I've been to one before. I'm very excited.
It's only been the second one that we've done. And Paul makes a thing of we said we really wanted to kind of record everything that he plays and in the order that he does, and then we create Spotify and title playlists so that you can go back
You
and
can
look
send
at
them
it.
to people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really
So
cool.
yeah. It's
I tried to do that with the gigs last year that I went to. I tried to make little like gig playlists for each one so I could remember the set list for each one, but I did one and then I was just nope, not doing that again. I've got too much to do on the road actually. I need to figure out where we're going and all that stuff. Okay. Fun idea. But no, if we do get a vinyl night playlist, I'd love that. Because I was chatting to I think it's Alex in the shop. And he was saying that he spent most of the time writing down what everyone else was playing last time. So I really read Shazamming constantly. So yeah.
But no, that's the whole point. We didn't want people to sit there and Shazam or wonder or worry about what it is. It's like, no, we'll put it on a playlist for you, that's fine.
Ah, that's really nice.
Because I want to remember what was played. There's some really cool stuff that was played at the last one, and it's, I find it fascinating as well, because like we've said, Spotify radio playlists are incredible because it's stuff that it thinks that you will enjoy. But at the same time, it is actually tailored more to you. And I would rather hear something which is not something tailored, but listen to this because I think it's cool. You might.
It's all connection, isn't it? Spotify knows how to curate exactly what you want. But
I wish there was a radio button for just random, not tailored towards yourself. So it's...
That would be really cool. Surprise me.
Yeah,
Like
a surprise me radio button.
that would be so
Boom,
sick.
right, just
You mean
on
like-
Spotify.
Do you mean like Radio 3?
Maybe.
Well, it's like the Spotify surprise me button.
It's just random.
Yeah. No, but you get all sorts. I mean, it's not random. They know what they're doing, but I
Yeah.
don't. So I get to find out by listening to it.
Oh, that's fun.
One moment it's jazz, another it's classical. Sometimes there's just mental things I don't understand, which is almost more fun as well.
Have you tried Spotify blends before?
Oh, well, you pair up with somebody.
Yeah, and it does you like a curated playlist. Yeah, they're quite good.
I never found that it changed anything though.
Oh, what do you mean? You didn't get...
It kind of, you got a blend of what each other was kind of listening to at that time.
Yeah.
But my taste...
Oh, they don't change the playlist, you mean?
Yeah, my taste changed like massively, and
Oh.
it didn't then reflect in the blend.
I mean, me and Ben have had a blend for like months and months and months now, and it will go through phases. Like it went through a heavy metal phase recently, and I was like, I don't know which one of us started this to the playlist. I don't know who's been listening to more heavy stuff for the playlist to pick up on, but we've had like it was set on the same blues vibe for like 5 months, and every time we listened to the playlist, it would always start with this one song, "Buzz Me Babe" by Slim Harper, I think, and I can't listen to it without just being turn it off, because it's the harmonica, I think, at the start. I heard too much. It was too much, but it eventually shifted out of that kind of locked into blues to a bit more metal. So maybe just stick with it.
Yeah.
Give it another go. Don't give up yet.
But I think Spotify is amazing in the sense where you can get a group of people together, you'll link into the same like bit that's playing, same Spotify that's playing, and just put in a queue, and you have a music evening like that, where there's just maybe even 4 or 5 of you off that, and just, I remember this song played less, and that's good fun.
Better than fighting over the odds.
Yeah.
The whole thing. But yeah.
That's the other thing with vinyl, that is that Paul is going to be the one that's on the deck, so that your vinyl will be safe should you drop it off and leave it, because some of it is very expensive. So, yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah, he'll take good care. I mean, they've all come from hip hop places.
So if I take my scratched records in, I can't blame Paul.
You can't, no.
Can't take scratched records. Yeah, this was fine when I bought it. Order me a new one.
Don't. I've literally already scratched the Chili Peppers record Ben bought me on Thursday. I so stupidly, like, one of us left the bag like half in front of the oven, and I turned the oven on to preheat later on. Didn't realise the bag was in front of it. He goes into the kitchen. He's like, "Uh oh." Get back to my house. We start playing it. It's like. I've owned you for like 8 hours. What have I done? But apparently you can flatten them with things and unskip them.
You can basically put a deeper groove in just where that is, and you'll always be here a little dead. But that's part of the fun of vinyl.
Yeah, this is it.
If
you get the inconvenience of it.
I'm not going to overwork this. In fact, I already have overworked it. I'm going to underwork it. It's been scraped. Even that up.
25 minutes past.
Lovely, I have rather overdone it.
Anyone still tuning in?
But, don't ask that question.
No, quite a lot actually.
Oh.
I don't ask that question. There you are. Okay, signature. What colour should I sign this in, do you think, Graham? What's the colours? What's the first one that just jumps to mind?
Pink, isn't it? Obviously.
Oh, I could do it in pink. Yeah,
You do it in pink.
I could do that.
As bright a pink as you can find. Manufactured.
Yeah.
That's really good.
You always sound so surprised.
I perfected that each week, isn't it?
Interesting signature. Okay, yeah, there's something there, isn't there? Hang on a minute.
Tiki.
Showing one anyway.
Oh yeah. But the mouth was very tricky, but I think I got your talking mouth. There's a bit of you there. Definitely a bit of you.
Yeah, the one stroke of that I really like is the sort of very pale pink by the left cheek. That brings out the hair for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
I love it. And you did my jumper as well. That is amazing. You've captured my hair like a photo, I feel. I almost kind of wish I hadn't seen the process, so it was a big reveal, because I think I would have been so shocked.
It's
Anyway.
not Skype portrait us. Yeah, we don't do that nonsense here. No television executives.
No theatrics.
No.
That's amazing though. I love that. I love the colours you've used. I love the jumper. Colours. Oh, that's come out.
Yeah.
Face.
So it's been a nice evening. Thank
Yeah.
you very much,
Thank you.
Philippa. Graham, there he is. His
Hello.
workstation. Remain seated. We had a
Capcom.
He loves ignoring people. He just loves it. I shove it right in his face.
Oh, look at it.
That's what people will tune in for.
That's
We
it.
need to do more effects.
I know, they love that stuff. But it's just generally also here, it's just having a stand there. Yeah, good time. Thank you so much for joining and showing an interest, everybody. Great of you. And that will be in Bean Shot tomorrow.
Check it out. Are you open tomorrow? No, I'll see you tomorrow.
Excellent. Cool.
Make sure mine's hung just slightly above Ben's.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Of course, yeah.
Because he pointed out that everyone's was hung on a straight line and then his was like, eh.
Down
He
to
got angry.
where the string is on the frame. So we'll put it in the middle so you're right up at the top.
Oh, it's amazing though. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for
Thanks for the chat. Really.
So yeah, that's great. You can visit the cat now. I come round the front. It's like up.
True.
So next week, not
Talk a little bit
entirely
and then they'll do.
sure if it's a portrait or a still life. We're working on that. But tune in next week for a little bit more.
We both flex.
Sorry, we were looking at the cat. I didn't realise it was still on. Thanks for coming.